Hi, this is Travis with the Baltimore guys, and today we are with Pugglebees Honey, and we're going to be learning about what bees mean to a community of bee farmers.
We're not fishing.
Making my way uphill, holding bees, what they mean to nature, and just what they mean to the overall quality of life. Come on, let's go check it out.
All right, I'm Kathryn Knapick. I grew up in Parkville, live here in Glenarm. I've been in Glenarm home for 13 years. I raise chickens, I have a cat, a dog, and I raise bees. And my husband and I were like, what could we find as a joint hobby?
Jim Knapick. I am the helper of my wife, Katherine, who's the boss. So when she tells me what to do, I know what to do.
How long have you been doing the honeys and working with bees?
I started in 2018, and we started with one little hive. That was our first hive. We extracted honey from it, won first place blue ribbon at the state fair with that hive. Continued, got a second hive, and both hives died over the winter. It's a struggle. It's nature.
You mentioned something about studies that were being done. Like, what information, I guess, or knowledge would you share in regards to bees?
If you're starting out in here and you're trying to get answers, the Penn State University has an extension course on beekeeping. So you can register online and go through the course that gives you all the basics on how to set up your hive and what you need to do. And then as you're getting more involved in it, what to look for the mites that could be in your hive. There's, other things. They just really, it's a wealth of knowledge. It's out there, especially for the people who are just learning it.
So the first year you entered, you won a first place blue ribbon. Okay.
Didn't know what I was doing. So we decided we were going to use the traditional honey bottles. And because we heard through the grapevine that glass jars are judged better than plastic. So we got the glass jars, we filled them all up. And you have to bring 3 jars because they want to see consistency through 3 jars. That consistency not only means in color, in water content, but in how far you filled the jars. Are all the jars equal? There is a line in the jar that it should be filled to. And you lose points if all your jars aren't filled to that line. If something goes over or under, didn't know any of this. Now I am very proactive with the benefits of bees, extracting honey and learning honey and the various aspects honey can provide, which I'm pretty amazed. I have allergies to grasses, and by eating my own honey, I no longer need antihistamines or whatever when I go out and mow the grass. I've learned of their importance in the world. Without bees, we wouldn't have food. And we're talking this tiny little insect. There's so many variables that can have a hive survive or not survive, and weather and temperature, and you will get a hive that a colony that outgrows their hive. So they raise a new queen, and the old queen and the bees leave, and that's called swarming. They will go out to any tree or object within their hive. They congregate. They hang in a big ball. They're as gentle as can be. You could scoop them with your hands because they're not going to hurt you. They're looking for a new home. A lot of times you can catch them yourself and then plant them into a new hive boxes, and they'll take over. But if a hive swarms, that's a sign that you have a good, strong hive, that it's generating a next generation and they're moving out. And so it's not a bad thing. It's just kind of sad to see it happen because you're losing some of your girls. But
Well, like you just said, all of your girls, so all bees are female. Are there any male bees?
there are male bees. They're drones. And a hive will raise drones in the spring. One drone will mate with one queen high up in the air, and the rest of the drones are then thrown out of the hive. And then the rest of the hive then continues with all female bees.
Wow. So in the bee world, it's not a man's world; it's a woman's world.
All woman's world. Yes.
Sure, when it comes to reading bees and, like you said, pheromones and energy, what has been your learning process when it comes to understanding and developing a bond with your bees?
First of all, I talk to my bees when I go out, very softly. I never raise my voice. You can hear the hum and know when a hive is happy and when it's not. It's just listening for those cues. And if they're upset, let them be. They're upset for a reason, and a couple bees come after you, and you get a pheromone on your clothing, and then that allows the other bees to follow you. I've run across the yard. I've jumped into the pool. But I've now learned to read them, to not get them that angry that they come after me. I can hear them, the anger growing, and it's like, okay, we'll stop right here. And
So, do you plan on entering the fair this year for your bees?
I'm going to try, hoping to get decent extraction of honey. And yes, I'll do it again.
Bees and plants.
We are here to see how our honey placed at the state fair. Henry, we got 4th place.
Really?
Yes.
Look, it's a pink ribbon.
Wow, we got a pink ribbon. That's so cool.
What is one thing you, as the public, knew more about bees that you think they don't know currently?
Most definitely pesticides. They're detrimental to the bee population. Use vinegar and dish soap. Not going to hurt any animal, but it will kill whatever weeds you're trying to get. And let your dandelions grow and your clover, because it's the bee's source of food and it's good for the world.
Beautiful.
So a honeybee lives, I think, 28 days,
Okay.
and they produce less than a teaspoon of honey
Wow.
in their lifetime.
One bee.
One bee.